Hey folks, this is Best in Slot. Welcome back to Prehistoric Kingdom and our Edmontosaurus habitat. The last of the herbivores. Next video, we're moving on to the carnies. As in carnivores, not as in, fairground people. That would be weird. Anyways, in terms of actual building, we're not doing too much today. We're basically going to make... So I saw this image, as I want to do, and... basically, these are they're like glass cabins built into the side of mountains and high up in forests and stuff like that. So all around these cabins, these glass cabins, there's foliage, there's trees, there's rocks, and the walls are sheer glass. And you kind of just, you sit there or you sleep there and you look out into this field or into this valley, stuff like that. So I kind of wanted to do something like that. I also wanted to build a big pit, so we did that as well. And that was basically the inspiration. I just wanted to do... I've not really done any big exhibits. My dinosaurs, I've never had lots of room to roam around in, so that was kind of more the focus this time. I've also got to remember that the scale tool exists, because I keep staggering my glass like that, when you can just do this. And, the more open this is and the more sheer the glass is, the better this is going to look. So the scale tool is... it's so good, and the rocks are so good, and it felt so good going back to this game and being able to scale my rocks up and all that kind of jazz. Anyways, yeah, so there's my glass box, and it just sits in the mountains, in the foliage, and looks out, and it's very sort of low-key viewing area kind of thing. The focus really is going to be on the valley itself, the Valley of Gwangi. It's not the Valley of Gwangi. That's a good film. It's not a good film. It's a terrible film. My game crashed there briefly. Not really sure why. Alpha. We did see recently that beta is probably fairly close-ish, or closer than we expected. There was some talk about that in the devlog the other day. I don't think we're going to cover devlogs anymore now that I'm, now that we're playing the game itself, but we'll see. Anyways, just building a little tunnel thingamajiggy here. Going to kind of stagger these bent ones downwards all the way to the ground, like so, and then try to finagle a way to close the gap between the two. And once again, the scale tool just makes it so much easier. You got a tiny little gap, oh, make a tiny little thing. I was actually meant to build a staircase in there, and I keep forgetting. Anyways, viewing area, near enough done. We're really not doing much more than that. Now it's time for the actual exhibit itself. So I like the idea that you were looking out, and there's like a river birthed beneath you. And then the river went and splayed out and got bigger and bigger, and then it sort of catapulted over the edge into a big-ass pit. Kind of inspired by, a little bit like by Lord of the Rings, but by Iceland and stuff like that as well, like Scandinavia. Just big, sheer cliff edges into the water. If I could do waterfalls, that would have been even better, but they're not in the game quite yet. But, yeah, I mean, this isn't going to be much of a focus. I figure we'll probably integrate it into the Rex exhibit somehow. Don't know. Maybe it'll be in the middle of the pit. I don't know. The pit is important. All praise the pit. Anyways, so yeah, just grabbing a dinosaur here, just so we have like a little size comparison. I wanted to make sure whilst it was a decent sized habitat, you could see the dinosaurs as well. There's no point looking out into this valley if the dinosaurs are teeny tiny little specks of dinosaur. You want big chunky dinosaurs. This is actually the first time I've ever used the road tool. And all I could think of was, so basically the road tool, as you can see, it's got a circle, and it makes things go uppy downy within the circle. Basically, some bits go up, some bits go down. It makes the whole thing uppy downy. It's all right. It's pretty useful. But if any of you've seen Liar Liar, there's a scene where Jim Carrey is talking about his career. Is it Liar Liar? It's not Liar Liar. It's Bruce Almighty. There's a scene where he's talking about his career, and well, he's sort of going on about it, and he goes eroding, and he kind of like splays off like that. Anyways, that's all I could think of, and I kept laughing during the whole thing. It was a bizarre experience. I do record this at like 5 AM, so I'm always a little bit out of it. Eroding. Sorry. Anyways, so yes, we put some water in, and now we're just staggering the valley up at the sides. I really wanted to make this look natural. I also wanted to be lazy and use the brush. So we're going to make this with temperate rather than forest. This wasn't really the plan when I first started this build, but I kind of realised that doing a heavily themed build at the start for your first build, when there's a lack of items as well, is very stupid. So whilst the build is still definitely themed, I'm going to worry less about making it feel themed. You know, it'll happen. It'll happen itself. Things have a habit of working out, is my theory. It's not a great theory, but it's a theory all the same. The brush tool is, well, being a pain here, but really good at this kind of situation. You know, I wanted a big forest at the sides and all these trees underneath, so that when you look out from the glass, you've got foliage poking up on the middle and the left and the right. Still a nice open viewpoint, but enough foliage that it's, you know, getting in the way a little bit. I also really wanted some above the viewing area like that, so it looks like it's part of, not sitting on the forest, but part of it, enveloped in the bosom of the woodlands. And that's what we did, basically. And then we're going to put lots of rocks in, because I can't help myself. But the nature images I was basing this off were very rock heavy, so that's my excuse. And just working on the, you see what I mean? So it kind of, you know what I mean? You know what I mean. This build didn't take that long. It was like 2 hours, an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. Which by my standards is frickin', it's nothing. It's over in a bloody snap, nice and quick. There's a little thing, you'll see me fighting with it several times, but if you put down smooth water or rough water, the two don't blend together. And in order to replace the smooth or rough water with smooth or rough water, vice versa, you have to delete the original water. You can't like overwrite it, it has to be erased first, and it confused me several times. Anyways, I really wanted like a rocky, you know when you think of like, maybe like the Pacific Northwest or something? I might be wrong completely, I'm probably wrong, I don't know geography. But it's like rocky valleys with big tall trees, like pine trees and stuff at the sides, or redwoods, and rivers carving their way through the rock, and it's all crystal clear blue water. I think it's a very definitive, well-known, evocative image, and that's really what I wanted to get across with this. I also was, as I say, slightly inspired by Lord of the Rings. We'll talk about that in the future. Got big plans. But that was just drop-off, kind of, just because dramatic landscape, Lord of the Rings, but also kind of the fields of Rohan and that area where you've got this fairly smooth grass area, and then rocks pop up or hills pop up, and there's, you know, dense foliage in places, but lots of moving, like grass that moves up, and like hills that move up and down and aren't totally smooth. That was the idea. It makes sense, I promise. I fought let's see what I mean. I had to try to get rid of all that water first. I fought very hard to hold back on the rocks and the foliage. I failed with the rocks. With the foliage, I somewhat managed. I really did want some open areas of grass where the dinosaurs could roam happily. I think we made it. I really want waterfalls. I know people have built waterfalls using like glass or coloured something. I don't really know. Trying out different materials here. None of them look good, so we're just going to go back to rock. There we go, lovely. But I don't know what they're doing, and it doesn't really look like a waterfall, so we're just going to kind of ignore it for now, basically. Anywho, what are we doing now? I have no idea. We're doing something. More rocks, it looks like. Oh, the scaling guide. If you haven't played this game, but you play other park builders, just wait until you get a hold of the scaling. It's a game changer. I keep saying this, it is a game changer. It's a life changer. Like, I'm never going to be the same person again. My therapist is going to have to hear about this, if I had one. I was initially going to have the sets of dinosaurs kind of contained to either side, but I decided to add like a little bit of a throughway, so there's a smooth area of land on both sides. I don't know if they'll use it, but hopefully it means in theory the Edmontosaurus can swim from one side of the valley to the other, basically. And I wanted to keep bringing more elevation in, as you can see me doing here, just because I really did want it to feel like a valley, like it was high and like the ground had variation in it. It wasn't flat, it's textured and stuff like that. And it's something I usually don't do a good job of, I think. It is actually my major weak spot in building, is that my lands are usually quite flat, so I'm working on it, and this was part of that. Now for some more foliage, but I did try to resist. I did very few trees. Very few. The idea was, you know, there's a big burst of forest at the sides, and then it kind of just peters out. Little bit of forest just wheedling in. Like so. I don't like a tree though. You'll see me constantly go back to the viewpoint where the glass is, just to, again, it's kind of like you're taking a photo, right? You go back to the viewpoint and you say, okay, what do we want there? What do we want there? How are we going to angle this to make for the best photo possible. What do we want in our sightline? What viewpoints do we want? Blah, 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 blah. The same kind of deal, basically. So if there's two trees that kind of, from the same angle, kind of sit on top of each other, we move one of the trees, create a little bit more variation. It looks really nice there. And mainly because Prehistoric Kingdom looks amazing. You know, I'm not doing much, but the game looks really good. I was going to put a log there, but I don't think the log looks good, so we got rid of the log. But there, you know, the branch flowed down the river, just kind of trying to represent some current. It flowed down the river and then got stuck on the jutting out rock. More rock we can have. You can tell the water doesn't tip over the edge, but if we have more rock there, it kind of looks like it does a little bit more. A little bit. Not too much. We're nearly done, folks. This is a short little build. Like I say, how long have we got left? How is that 8 minutes left? We have to do some terrain stuff. Oh, we have to do the little foliage first. I keep wanting to bring flowers in, and I don't love the flowers in the game at the moment, so I keep not using them. And I tried in this video, but it didn't really work. But the bushes, this bush in particular, I can't remember what it's called, but it's amazing. It's not the, oh no, it is that's the arrowroot one. A little bit of reeds in there. But there's another one called Norse Horse Fairy or something. It's not anything like that. One of those 3 words is in it, I'm pretty sure. We'll see it in a second. It's this one. I really like this. It's really cool. It blends in really nicely with the basil tropical grass. Just looks really nice, yeah. I just wanted general interesting ground coverage without going over the top like that. You know, but there should be, and I realised I was over the top, but there should be variation and different plant life and stuff like that. And maybe some flowers here and there, but not too many flowers. And lots of rocks, but the rocks just creep up out of the ground and the world has just grown around them, and it felt very Lord of the Rings to me when I was building it, and that's what I wanted. I'm in a Lord of the Rings mood. I haven't even watched it in like 3 whole months, so I don't know why. Didn't want to bother with those end bits, so we chucked some forest on there. We need to do some terrain as well, make it a little bit more interesting. Sink some rocks under the ground, little baby rocks as well. You can't just have mummy and daddy rocks, you have to have a baby rock. Got the whole rock family, aunts and uncles, and you know, creepy people who like you grew up calling Uncle Rock, but they weren't really your uncle. You just kind of had to call them your uncle. I think we all had that uncle. I didn't like that uncle. Sorry, Jimmy, if you're watching this video. I suspect you're not, but if you are, you're a bad person. Right, let's move on. So, time for some texturing, just making the grass look a little bit more interesting. First thing I did was mix the tropical grass with the blah, 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 what's it called? Can't remember. Tropical and the other one. Basically grassland or something like that. I can't remember what it's called. Just to give the grass itself a little bit of colour variation. You can see there's some darker bits and there's some lighter bits with a bit of yellow popping in there. Bring in a bit of rock as well, mainly on areas where there's very sharp elevation in the ground to resemble, you know, the revealing of the underground, essentially. Make it a little bit darker there. I find it's easier to go heavy on the texture and then fade it out with the grass rather than fading it out initially, personally. The grass is really, really good at stacking on top of stuff, basically. It looks really nice. It's just pleasant. There's nothing special. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. It's just nice. I never build nice things. I always have to build crazy, stupid things. It's nice sometimes to just build pretty habitats. I'm losing my edge. I need to build something stupid. I want to build a volcano, but there's no lights in the game, so I don't know how I'm going to do it. Maybe I'll build a giant T-Rex skull. Or a ship. We're going to build something stupid for the Rex. And maybe the Toposaurus. Anyways. So just doing some texturing. I was pretty happy with that, honestly. I didn't want to... I was fighting myself really hard to not go over the top and not make it too busy, because I really wanted that open field kind of feel to it, at least a little bit. I'm never going to go too far in that direction, but just a little bit to have it feel open and natural and stuff like that. And I think I'm done with the actual habitat, so we can talk about the future, because I'm about to put fences down for like 4 minutes. We have 2 habitats left. I'm trying to think about what the plan is after that. I don't think we're going to just build another park whilst we're still in the alpha. I will give you update videos as we go forward, and if we get like a really cool idea with something we can do with the current tools, we'll do an update video on that as well. I said from the very start with PK that I don't want to burn myself out on it instantly. You know, I'm already 25 to 30 hours in, but the game is going to last. We're going to play this game for years to come, right? So we don't need to hammer it all in the first few months. We don't need to go too hard on the alpha. We're going to build one zoo. Maybe we'll build a few cool individual exhibits after that, but I don't feel any need to build a zoo and then a zoo and then a zoo and then a zoo. You know what I mean? Especially when there's not too many creative options available. The scaling and stuff is incredible, but because we don't have tons of... Also, I was doing something very stupid with the fences. I'll talk about that in a sec. But because we don't have like loads of props and stuff like that, it's harder to go too wild. Although some people are building crazy stuff like the Chrysler building and stuff. That was an amazing build. And that's not a slight on the game. That should not be the focus for Prehistoric Kingdom right now. It should be making sure the game itself functions at a good level and all the basic features are there and there's bugs fixes and stuff like that. I'm just saying that's why. And when you're doing fences, don't duplicate the fence, okay? Because then it'll rotate back to the duplication of the duplicated fence. Back to the rotation of the duplicated fence. If you put down a new fence and turn on keep duplication, it will keep the duplication of the most recently it'll keep the rotation of the most recently duplicated fence, and it makes it much quicker to do fences. Did that make any sense? Basically, if you duplicate a fence, like, let's say I've built half the fence, I'm building the other half. You can see what I'm doing here. You built a fence, you're going to build the other half. You duplicate a piece from the original piece of fence on the left to build the right fence. Then, when you're putting the right fence down, each piece will revert to the rotation of the original fence. If you put down a new piece of fence, as in from the modular building tool, and keep object rotation ticked, as I did, then each new piece will set a new rotation point. It's better, just trust me. Okay? I don't know, like, it took me a while to figure that out, but I really like this little build. I just needed an entrance that didn't look stupid, basically, so... You know, stagger some wood in there, it's texture views a lot. Has kind of a cool, edgy feel to it, you know. It's the kind of entrance that all the other entrances want to be. I don't know. Anyways, this is Edmontosaurus. What do I call it? I have no idea. Lookout, I think? Or Valley, or... I think it's Lookout. I could not think of an E word for this exhibit. I was going to call it Edge. But I don't want the world to think I'm edging Edmontosauruses. That would be slightly strange. I just couldn't think of like a good E-word to signify what we've done here. It doesn't always have to have alliteration. It does, and it breaks my heart that it doesn't. But I guess it's okay for it not to be alliterated. I guess. I'm not happy about it. So there's Edmontosaurus Lookout. I'm going to let the letters stick out a little bit more. I think it looks cooler. And we are basically done there, folks. So, Edmontosaurus Lookout, we will hop in game, we'll populate it with dinosaurs, we'll hang out with them for a little bit, and that'll be about it. I'll see you in a sec. Okay, we'll start here from Lambeosaurus Lake, where Matilda is still staring at the sign. She's definitely frozen here, she's definitely unable to move, but I kind of want to keep her here. Her continued fascination with the words Lambeosaurus Lake is a source of great amusement to me. Calm down, buddy. And yes, they could definitely just walk out. This guy in particular, bloody Kuruk, he could just... Kuruk. He could just walk out absolutely no problem. Oi. No. Right, so you head through Lambeosaurus Lake. You're checking them out. Oh, hello, beautiful. This is the main viewing point, of course. Put a little fence down there. There we go. Lovely stuff. Bam. And you're walking forward. There's a little bit topsy-turvy. And there's our entrance point for Edmontosaurus Lookout. I really do like this. This kind of... You know, that's not a straight line. Straight lines are bad. Well, it is a straight line. But it's angled. Angled's cool. It's a good angle. Anyways, so we head into Edmontosaurus Lookout. Like I said, I think we can make this a staircase. I think that might be better. Just stagger some blocks up there. And you head up, and you're excited. And you do. There it is. Simple. Pimple. For some reason, I swear it was G to hide the UI. And maybe they've changed it, or maybe I'm misremembering. But anyways, yeah, there you go. Edmontosaurus Lookout. Right, let's pop in some dinosaurs. That's kind of why we're here, isn't it? So, boop, and Edmontosaurus. I think because it's a fairly big habitat, we're going to make a male and female of every type. So that's our Regalis, this is our Anectons, and finally our Cook Bekensis. There we go. Edmontosaurus' skins aren't too bright and vivid. This one's quite cool. This is probably my favourite of the bunch. Let's speed up some time. Actually, see who we got. We got Akana, Nini, Halana, Tuktu, who is my favourite already, Sarah and Evelyn. Those are our Edmontos. You'll see with the Edmontosauruses, basically all the all the dinosaurs have names randomly generated from names inspired by the region they're from, kind of thing. So I'm not sure what to do about this valley over here. I'm thinking if I do this again on that side, or we just kind of flatten that, put some rock there, put some rocks in, put some trees in there, so it looks more like an ocean, or maybe push it even further back. I might push this, honestly, all the way to the end of the map at the very least. We'll have to wait and see. Are our dinosaurs ready? Yes, here we go. So we're going to put 3 at each side. And I think they're really nice size for the habitat. There we go. So this is Nini. Nini, there's Nini. This is Halona. I'm going to head over here. This is Tuktu. You're my favourite Tuktu. Actually, I do look at that. That little burst of blue around the eyes is very cool. Tuktu is beautiful. This is Sarah. And this is Evelyn. Our Kookapensis hanging out, doing their thing. I don't know what to say, folks. I don't know. Do I just film the dinosaurs? Grazing along. How you doing over here? Our Kookapensis having a kook nap, as they're known. You're having a little nap as well. I'm missing a Edmontosaurus already. I'm not convinced that this exhibit is closed. I'm not convinced they can't escape. So I have slight suspicions that one has done a runner already. There's Aura. Regardless, have a little chill. Let's go view it from over here whilst they're moving. Imagine you're sitting. I sit. Wait, no, you have to stand to get you have to stand and be a very tall person to get the best view. It is a little hard to see. I'm not gonna lie, but you can make them out. Yeah, you can see them. They're there. That's what matters. There's one there. There's one there. There's dinosaurs, I promise. What are you doing, pal? You nommed on a rock, yeah? Delicious little rock. Mmm. Look at the texture on this thing. It's nuts. Where have my other dinosaurs gone? Yeah. The Kook is the smallest of the group, as you can probably tell. By quite a distance. You're a big boy. Or a big girl. Can't quite remember. Wait, isn't this my fave? What's my fave called? Tuk Tuk! I can't remember if that's your name, but now you're called Tuk Tuk. Because it's an amazing name. I'm going to put one of you in the water. I'm very sorry. Evelyn? Not on Navmesh. Oh. Maybe because the water's too deep. The water is pretty deep. Oh! Evelyn, I'm sorry. Evelyn, come back. Evelyn, no. I'm sorry, girl. I really am. Didn't mean to casually... Oh, Evelyn? Evelyn? Evelyn's considering being cheeky. She's thinking about it. She's looking... What's going on with the like? She's looking out there into the world. Her boy is on the other side. Actually, he's not. But others are on the other side. The grass is greener on the other side. The Edmontosaurus is greener on the other side of the river. I'm going to get away from here so the sun stops going crazy. They all look at each other. They're all lamenting each other. This is bloody Matilda and the sign all over again. Tuk Tuk is just gazing across the void. At least I can see all 3 dinosaurs now. It's the eyes. It really is. It's the eyes that give them life. More so with the Rex. These have slightly darker eyes, so it's harder to get that detail, but... The eyes have it. The window to the soul, as they say. In the clubs. Probably. You're still here. You're not going to move over again. You're Matilda 2.0 on. You're actually... Tuk Tuk is stuck. Tuk Tuk is going absolutely bloody nowhere. Hello, humans. How are you? Feeling human-y? Good stuff. And not the best time of day for this. Yeah, I don't know. It's just pleasant. I don't have much to add beyond. It's pleasant. You're moving around. You're a cool dinosaur. I'm proud of you, buddy. You've got some issues. Wait, wait, wait. Da 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 da. Wait, 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 wait. Tuk Tuk is always watching. Tuk Tuk is beautiful. What is your name? Tuk 2. I'm sorry, Tuk 2. I'm gonna move you, okay? Let's release the Tuk 2. Oh hey, 3 dinosaurs! And over that side? Yay! Fantastic. They're all here. Good stuff. You have been stuck on that rock for a while. Come on, Helona. There we go. Good lass. Yeah, right. I've prattled on for definitely long enough. So that is Edmontosaurus Lookout. Little valley thing. Hope you enjoyed the build. I did. I had fun. We're going to edge the rest of this with sand there. Going to get rid of some trees there. Take it back to the original sort of vibe. And next video, we will start on the Tyrannosaurus... It looks cool like this. We'll start on the Tyrannosaurus Tarbosaurus area, which will be over there somewhere in the middle. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you lovely folks in that next video. Cheers, much love as always. Bye-bye.
Reaching out.